This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages, right here on Jam on Toast. This is the Watch Spot. I'm Kamurai. Salutations. I'm conversation ready. It's such an effort to try to get me to do things. Or to remember to do them. Not to get me to do them, but just be like, oh yeah, I was going to do that. My watch list is a little out of date, but I'm just going to walk through the platforms and kind of talk about what I've been watching. Especially since I turned on the Hulu autoplay, I've been doing a lot more movies through there, which is kind of interesting. Looking for candidates for movie club stuff, and additionally, I'm going through I should probably touch on that, my collection and getting them on MP4s. So that I can host them myself. I think there's a network disconnect when I tried it on Friday, which combined with the problems I've had with the Rabbit, which went away about the middle of the cast. I think it was just ad blocker. It was detecting ad blocker and doing that because I put it on for general use, but I usually whitelist sites I like. I just didn't realize Rabbit was not one of them. So yeah, so I've got to push that process as well. Remember to do it after this. I have not returned to Crunchyroll, I'll say that much. I desperately want to go watch the current season of The Magicians, because I did recently catch up with that on Netflix. I just haven't figured out how I want to do it, because like right now I'm kind of into watching things legally. To put it in so many words. And I forgot TBS and TNT. I forgot to go back and reinvestigate those, so I'll try to remember to do that this week. It was a long day last night. Like obviously this didn't happen then. It happened today. And it's been like a really slow morning. Like not only is my shoulder pain back, but my neck still hurts. Just slowly trying to catch up on things, and we're getting it done. We get it done, son. Figured out something about this. This is not really where I want this. You want this like somewhere like here, in theory. But we try what we do, what we can, when we can. And Toll Biscuit literally talks like this into his microphone during podcasts, and that's fine and all. I like mine kind of pushed to the side, so I'm gonna try to do one of these. And the shadow's in the way. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like you can't win. And I'd rather my lights be in a different spot, but can't do it, at least not until I get my new desk. One day far away from now. I am not a good singer. I recognize that. I'll stop. Fuck, you know what? Just looking through this, like, I don't know. Like, I can't, it's really been hard to remember. I'll talk about the ones I can remember then. I'll go through the Hulu stuff last, because that's what it is. It's the binge stuff that I want to talk about first. So I did recently go through Glow. I don't know what happened in the disconnect there. I may have posted it to the wrong Tumblr, because it can be hectic to go back and forth occasionally. But I did post Glow Season 1. If you've not watched Glow, watch Glow. It's fantastic. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll get into it. Alison Brie is amazing. I can't believe how they did her makeup to make her look as stressed out and worn as she is, because she's such a high energy actress when it comes down to it. Mark Maron's fantastic as the director guy. The producer guy is pretty fantastic. All the ladies are awesome. Even the Russian guy that runs the front desk, he's pretty awesome. So such well casted, so well shot, so well written. I had some really guffawing moments too, where I was just laughing my ass off, because it's so well written. They've got like good jokes in there. It's really a top show. And I'd mentioned this before because I went on a weird tear where like I was watching all these things from these time periods that I really don't care for. Like Glow is 1980s. There's Johnny's, like, I think his late 70s, mid 70s maybe. Don't fight each other, stupid cats. I think that's the first time I've seen her win, but still, be nice, you fat cat. And then what's the other one? Amazing Miss Maisel is like actually 1950s. Like, and so it just blew me away that, like, going back in time, that we could actually do good versions of these period pieces, where that even I would like them. And I'm not saying that there aren't other good ones. I'm saying that I typically don't like them, whether or not they're good. Because whether you enjoy something or whether or not it's good, completely different things. I'm going to say a lot of people enjoy Kevin Smith movies. Academically, maybe they're not the best movies. Maybe. Some of them have merit, some of them have less. But, how do I say it? So I'm going on this tear, and then, like, I keep running across things. Like, I ran across Love, which is, I think, a Netflix original with Jillian Jacobs. And I'll pretty much watch anything she's in at this point. Alison Brie's well. Both of them from Community, if you don't know who I'm talking about. And, like, yeah, they're great to look at, whatever. But they're phenomenal actresses, and that's really what sinks me into them. Like, it's like, what are you going to do next? And Jillian Jacob emotes so well. So I did Love Season 1 and 2 reviews as well. Posted those on the Tumblr. And then Season 3 is actually apparently coming out. So we're going to get to see both of them come back and do Season 3. That'll be fantastic. A show that, like, it's actually a Hulu. You know what? That was the weird thing. So I'm not sure if it's actually a Hulu original or not. Whether or not it's marked as one, because the production studios and everything is, like, small-time things. So they may have just been, like, a small independent show that actually just got good actor. You know what? That doesn't sound right at all. Got enough good casting done to get on Hulu and become a Hulu exclusive. I don't know. Maybe that's the difference. But there's Johnny. And it's a short season, too. I didn't realize how quick it went by, because if I'm remembering correctly, they're like 20-minute episodes instead of the 40 like you get out of Love or Glow. Netflix likes to do 1-hour dramas. And if you do the math, your 1-hour dramas are actually like 40 minutes, which is why when you watch them on Netflix without commercials, they go a lot faster, and you can get more out of them. So essentially, if we're going to do the math, so in 3 hours' time, instead of watching 3 shows, you can watch... Sorry, I had this in my head before I started talking. So 40 minutes plus 40 minutes is an hour 20, or an hour 20 plus 40 minutes. So in 2 hours, sorry, that's the ratio. In 2 hours, instead of watching 2 shows, you can watch 3. That's how much more efficient it is to watch without commercials. So if you are considering paying Hulu commercial free, or CBS Prime or Access, whatever it's fucking called, it is worth your time, because your time is valuable, to pay for that, so you don't have to waste your time on looking at adverts for fucking shit you don't want. Now, if you enjoy adverts for some reason, by all means do it. If you'd rather have the money, by all means. But I think most of us have things to do. I know I have limited time, and mostly because I do things like this, but I consider my time valuable, and I want to get the most out of it. So one of the other shows I ran across, and again, I've watched Love before, so I was like, oh, I want to watch this. Atypical. I don't know if watching me at all or knowing me at all, maybe you've been able to tell. As far as I'm concerned, I've got to be on the spectrum, the way they say it, meaning that, like, I've got some form, however high functioning I am, or how minute it might be, of autism or Asperger's or something, mostly based on socialization, the way that works out. And Atypical is a romantic dramedy, please, because I'd say comedy, but it goes drama, about a young man who is told by his therapist that he should probably, if as comfortable as he's been with social interactions so far, is like maybe he should look at finding a girlfriend or whatever. And the kid's already ready for it, and he's like 19 in high school, because he's been held back because he's got autism. But it's got a great cast, and if you're familiar with Felicia Day and the Guild, oh God, I think her last name's Okuda, Annie maybe, but I want to make sure that I'm not getting her confused with Anna Akana. But she played Tinkerbell in the Guild. She's in it as the therapist. She does a really good job. That girl's got range. Just saying. I don't know if she'd pull off like bad boy. Like she pulled off bitch real well in the Guild, but she's just got this sweet cute face. So I don't know. Anyways, so just every character in that show is amazing. You've got the overworked mom who's looking for release. You've got the overwhelmed dad who's just trying to keep it together. They're both trying to connect with both their kids. You've got the daddy's girl, athletic running jock. You've got the autism kid. You've got the overbearing girl who likes the autism kid. The Paige is such a fucking awesome character. Like, I'm just gonna spoil it. There's a scene where like he locks her in the closet, or he doesn't lock her in the closet, but he puts her in the closet. And they don't give us that how that built up, because he can't handle her all of a sudden. So I don't know. It's such a funny scene to me, and it's interesting the things that people will go through for people they like, and then people's ability to recognize that with or without medical condition, a condition. Let's say that. So autism to me is just fascinating in general, but and oddly and way too relatable. But coming around to it, seeing how everyone interacts with this character and all the things, plus normal high school bullshit. Like I think like the first episode, somebody writes orca on, which is really kind of a fancy way to like call someone fat. Really, like it's pretentious if we're gonna really get to it. Unless it has something to do with her last name, and I can't remember what her last name is. But sister gets involved when she shouldn't. Maybe. Well, she punches the girl who supposedly did it. So the way she got involved is probably not how she should have. And that's like the first episode, so I'm not even spoiling anything there. So it's interesting to see how all these characters interact and everything. Sorry, it's just flashing back on all the great things Paige does. Really, it's like, I get that she's maybe like a little dramatic and overbearing, but like you'd be lucky to have someone in your life like that. Platonic, romantic, whatever. Oh, it's such a good show. So I got to run back through Atypical, and it makes me want to watch. Is it All About Adam? There's a movie version of, not of this, but a movie similar to this, something about Adam, or like I'll have to figure it out. But or is it just Adam? Now I gotta go on IMDb. But it was on Netflix once upon a time. And it's a movie about a guy with autism who falls for his neighbor. And she's slowly trying to figure out like kind of what his deal is, and she's originally just trying to be nice, and then she actually pushes him away, I think. And it's a really nice dynamic, and he's just patient because he's self-aware enough to know that he has a condition and that people don't always react well to him. So it's really interesting. I really want to go rewatch that and do a review for that. I may even figure out how I want to do a movie review based off it. Been thinking about that since I did Lemon. Oh, it's a cat. Okay, I was like, what's happening out there? since I reviewed Lemon, and I think most of the reviews I do are going to be there. And so probably what I'll do is I'll probably just throw it on the schedule for one of the movie clubs, because right now I've got 3, so I'm at least watching 3 movies a week, and then I'm watching extra ones like I mentioned for Hulu. I cover the. So there's Johnny. I got to do one for that, and then it's on my list to rewatch the Marvelous Miss Maisel and do a review on that one. Hello? Be right back. No idea. No idea what happened. Just a cat being stupid. Where was I at? Okay, so some of the movies I watched on Hulu, Ingrid Goes West, Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen. I did not expect it to be good. I was like, oh, I like both of them. Yeah, the movie's just called Adam, the autism one. It's a generic title, it's hard to find. But, what was I saying? Ingrid Goes West. Why can't I just sign in? I really need to go back and watch The Handmaid's Tale. It's been on my list forever, and I don't know what the deal is. I just can't motivate myself to watch it. But yeah, so I recently watched Ingrid Goes West. Of course, it doesn't have that there. And I have not set this up for shortcuts on how to get... Oh. It's a lot easier than I thought. You just go... Chris, Histories. Yeah. Oh, Austin Found. Okay, so I rave about a movie in particularly called Looking for a Friend for the End of the World. Steve Carell, Keira Knightley, both good actors, super well casted. They both play their roles respectively very, very well. Amazing movie in general, and it's just fodder for philosophical conversation. But it is one of the few movies that I can go, that has a perfect ending. And so that's my go-to when I say it. I just did Austin Found the other day, and I recognize the little girl, I recognize the mom, the big black guy from Rapture Palooza. I know he's in other things. He was in Zack and Mary Make a Porno. Probably 2 worst movies he's ever done. But he plays piano sometimes. He's real funny. I just can't remember his name offhand. Then the guy who plays Billy, he was Steve in Scream, I think. Like, his first scene in that movie is him putting a tooth in. It's weird. And I can't remember where mom's from either, word or name. But oh my god, the ending is perfect. There's no way you could do a better ending than that movie. So if you have time, watch it, get through it. It's all about a mom who stages her own daughter's kidnapping. That's the boilerplate for you. I'm not trying to spoil anything. That's kind of what the movie is. I could say it's about an unhappy mom with a daughter who does pageants, but that doesn't really say anything about anything, because then it sounds like it's all about the pageantry, and it's not. It kind of starts that way to derail you, I guess. But looking through my history and stuff, I don't see any other movies. That's back to last time I watched Stars versus Force of Evil. Trust me, Child Support. Really, really good game show. Not because of the game itself. The game itself is a little silly. It's really just, I'll ask you 10 questions. Let's see if you're right. Like, you and I could play that on this podcast and do it in about 5-10 minutes. But they make an hour, I think it's an hour-long show out of it. and it's just interesting to see how they do it. Um, let's see. I guess we're to Hulu finally. Uh, fuck Chicklet. It really wasn't that good. It's interesting. Okay. I'm just trying to think of interesting things I'm watching, like Superstore, American Housewife, Mayor. Like, there's shows that exist and they're doing stuff, but like you put them next to things like The Good Place, and they don't hold a candle. Great news, yay! Whatever. They're finally gonna bang respectively. Respectably. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the girl from Great News is on. What was it? Love. Yeah, I was. I was surprised to see her there. I didn't remember it. But The Gifted is like is to a huge turning point. There, it's so the time period in which Gifted is placed is kind of weird because it's post X-Men. Like, it's supposed to be at a point where the X-Men left and the fight with the Brotherhood's already done, but the Hellfire Club still exists for whatever reason, and I'm just not sure what the fuck they're going for. I just don't know entirely. It's odd at best to me, if you will, and but the way it's been left off so far, is that, like, it's almost like the return of the Brotherhood. Polaris has really taken up the reins of her spiritual father, if not her actual father, Magneto, and leading a group of mutants to rebuild the Hellfire Club, really, in place of the Brotherhood. So I think the writers are doing something awesome, but they're doing it on accident because they're taking pieces that exist, like all these writers do for these fucking comic book productions, and they take huge things that everyone recognizes, like, oh, that's a name that everyone likes. Everyone seems to be Googling that. Let's use that then. That way more people will pay attention to our thing and we'll get more money out of them. But they don't look at, like, the quality of the product and what they're actually building. Does it match the source material? Or fans of the original product still like it? If a thing is popular enough to turn into a new thing, keep the thing. Jesus. But, so, like, we're on the verge of a new Brotherhood, and honestly, that wouldn't be a bad way to call it, but they've already said Hellfire Club, so I'm willing to bet that Lorna's group inside the Hellfire Club will end up splintering at some point, and that maybe that's the new Brotherhood, or the effective new Brotherhood. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I have not watched the latest episode. It's actually probably the next thing I'm going to watch past Backwards Compatible Miles and Kevin. Oh, I forgot his name. Playing through Doki Doki Literature Club. Thank them for that, because I don't know why. I can't get myself to sit down and do visual novels. I even tried, like, Super Dungeon Tactics Day, and it's like, I'm not reading any of this. I don't care about your story. Just let me play a game. It's really weird because, like, I bitched about that for years. That, like, I wanted more things that gave me a story, and now I guess I just want the story delivered as I'm playing instead of as exposition or narrative, which is really weird because it doesn't bother me in movies at all. Probably because I'm usually doing something else when the movie's on. That might be why. Lucifer's in a strange place, but it's always in a strange place. Because the Kane's trying to leave, and Lucifer's not having it, so it's just a contention of things. And they're trying to figure out how to kill him, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little fuzzy because it's like, well, why isn't this already done? But it's the thing, when you present an impossible problem that people have been trying to solve for centuries, like, it becomes either like, oh, either we're not going to do it or whatever. I'd mentioned The Good Place. I didn't actually say why it was so good right now. Like, they finally make it through all these trials and tribulations to the judge to get tested to see if they can make it to the good place, if they become better enough, or anything. And the tests were a little weird and unfair, but other than Tahani's, I think like the whole point was to avoid the test, or to call the test out on its nonsense. And of course, Tahani failed, and I don't know why. Like, she sat there and like even like waved at it goodbye. I'm like, what are you waving to? You're waving hello to eternal damnation. Like, she had a shot. The whole idea that it ends on Eleanor being the only one to make it out of the four of them, and then that averages out to them all going to the bad place. She accepted damnation on behalf of her friends. Like, I don't know if it's up to her. That's part of the point of going to a judge and being judged by God and all that, right? Like, I don't know. And it's really funny because the judge just does it because she's bored. She's like, I don't have anything else going on. Why not? Let's give you a shot. But I really feel like Jason got tricked because he's just fucking stupid. And I don't know if he's necessarily a good person. Like, if anyone, maybe he's the one there. Tahani has problems, but I don't necessarily think like that means that she is a bad person. Cheaty, it's really weird because it really makes you think like questions like what is a good or bad person. It would make me imagine that more people would not watch the show because they would be questioning their moral values more, and I don't know what to do with that. I really don't, but I like it. I enjoy it. I really think The Good Place is a great show. Kristen Bell's amazing, and these other three, or actually, I see other three, but it's really like everyone who's been involved so far is pretty damn good. And there's a nice little twist at the end that I won't spoil, even though I spoil the damnation thing, because the second thing affects the first. Oh man, I would talk more about the CW, but like I have not been paying attention to them this week. So the last thing that I could think I can really talk about, real quick, let me just see what who the fuck is that? Hold on. Oh, that's Arrow. He looked like a girl because of the way the light's hitting his hood. It looked like he had hair. CW has things happening. Oh god, I'll be at this all day. That's okay. They're good shows. I don't mind. Really, like when it comes down to it, it's like, oh no, I have to watch these superhero shows all day? It's interesting to see thumbnails of some of this stuff though, like when you don't know exactly what's going to be happening. Like you kind of get the gist of it. So after I get okay, yeah, so that's gonna be on my thing to do along with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's good to have stuff. Should have prioritized some of it. Of course, I'm not streaming on the right channel. Oh yeah, because I put it on weird. Okay, well let's go over there and see. I'll have to re-upload it. Killing myself with this. So I have no idea what it means when YouTube says I'm offline, but it has green, which means I'm online. Am I blocked from streaming on YouTube at this point? Alright, so I gotta fix this, so I'm gonna go wrap up here. I did about a half hour. I feel good about that. I obviously have things to do. I've got I've got We Are Movie Club stuff to do still, plus bad summaries. Go over there, youtube.com/We Are Movie Club. There's stuff happening, and yeah. Whew, boy. So until I see you next time, I am Kamurai. Have a nice day. You want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations and they'll take you to our other channels. Thanks for watching.